We'll start off. I was going to ask you about playing teams that you've played already this year in conference. What's it like the second time around when you face these teams?
Well, yeah, we had a chance to see them on the road. Obviously, obviously you're expecting if you take a win from earlier in the year, you're expecting a performance where they're coming back. They want to avenge a loss.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a team now that be able to look at some tape. It's a couple months ago. So what you do is you see what kind of adjustments they've made as a team over the last little bit, watching tape on recent opponents that they've had. Yeah. But for the most part, it'll be a give and take here as to who can assert themselves and who make the adjustments from the previous weekend.
In some ways, too, it's just kind of like getting a chance to kind of a fresh start because you're just playing conference games now the rest of the year, and you guys aren't really that bad off in conference play. I mean, is it a kind of a week where you can kind of maybe symbolically put aside some of the other frustrating parts of the season?
Yeah, well, hey, it's a situation where we been just trying to put the piece of the puzzle together here as the season progresses in terms of the situation. We reflected on the weekend. We spent some time on that early in the week, and now we moved on in terms of situation. Obviously, our goal here is ECAC play and to finish as high as we can. And we set our goals every year to try to get that home ice bye. So nothing's going to change there. We're going to get into it. Our league is good this year. There's a lot of teams ranked. There's a lot of good teams in our league, so we'll get tested here, and we're excited for that.
Yeah, you've had some maybe like 3 kind of stagnant offensive games. You guys were playing well before that. Have you seen anything that you can figure out what's been going on, or what? It's
just a matter. I don't think we're generating a whole lot of shots on net. I don't think we're moving real quick. We've talked about that all week here. We haven't put a lot of pucks on net. We were getting in the 30s and nibbling around the 40 mark for a lot when we were producing offensively. Yeah. We haven't done that lately. Our power play is not generating any shots. We're averaging less than a shot of power play. So it's just a situation that we're in right now that we got to try to focus on putting pucks on net and getting bodies around it and start getting some ugly goals.
The other thing is, I was going to talk to Kevin a little later. I was just curious. I know he can't play this year, but how does it help him be able to be out here for the second half and kind of go to the practices and keeping in touch with what you guys are doing system-wise and things like that? Like, how
he's a warrior, and it's killing him inside that he's not able to play. But it'll give him an opportunity here to make sure his skills stay intact and compete with our guys. And he's trying to make our guys better. He's rallying around that to help us improve as a team here. So he's the type of guy great in the locker room. So it's important for us to have him around. It's also important emotionally for him to be around too.
And in the long run, has it helped too to kind of know that you get 3 more years of him as opposed to just 2.5 if he played this right now?
Oh yeah, short term, that he's an imposing player, and the thing is with his shoulder, he needs some time to play the way he plays, right? So it's in his best interest that for this redshirt situation, but more so than anything else, he's a competitor, and you can go anywhere in any rink, any night he's showing up to play and compete at a high level, which is what you miss the most about Kevin in your lineup.
All right. Thanks.